How is your guys' Friday? You guys ready for the weekend? I am ready. I am ready for the weekend. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to let Jay in the box. Timbo, Heather. Thank you, Emoji J. So, for those of you that know Emoji J, he is one of two guests today, and we also have Medusa. If you guys do not know Emoji J, he is an admin for some featured shows. So, if you're looking, I know he's looking for some people for on a show as like a group. So, if you guys are interested in being on shows, reach out to Emoji J through Instagram. I do want to make sure I say thank you to everybody for being here. Time is very important, so I appreciate you spending time here. And thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favorites. I appreciate them all. But during the show, I cannot thank anybody. So again, you guys, if you're down here in the bouncer status, make sure you're letting people know. Thank you for the gifts and let them know that I cannot interact one-on-one during the show. Okay. Um, and then Jay or Medusa, which one of you guys are going to go first while I grab the Q and Q? All right, perfect. Bam. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. I like when that happens. I like when that happens. All right, so guys, I do at the beginning of every show, I start off with a quote and a question from last week. And I picked something simple because I'd been picking things that made you guys actually think of feelings. And it turns out a lot of you guys don't want to get in tune with your inner selves. So I went with something more generic today. So maybe you guys are actually going to respond. And this is my way of being sassy at y'all for not opening up. Okay. So it says, you may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. So, question, simple enough, is what food would you like to try that you have never eaten? And if all y'all don't have a food you want to try that you haven't eaten, we all going to fight right now. We all going to have our first fight. Bashy, Stephen, hello. What food would you like to try that you have never eaten? You've never had lobster? Oh my Lanta. I love lobster. You've never had sushi? You've never had squash? What kind of squash? Ugh, bugaboo. You can keep them to your damn self. You've never had a kiwi? Oh my goodness, Pumpkin Queen, where do you live? Fred, you need to try lobster. Like, you know that feeling about the birthday stuff? And how you just weren't sure, but then when you had it, you know, and you were like, oh my God, how did I not do this forever? Yeah, that's how you're going to feel about lobster. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so you don't eat the outside of the kiwi, honey. So what you do is I cut it in half long ways. And then I used a spoon and I scooped the whole inside out, or you can just eat it out of the shell with a spoon. I put a little bit of sugar on mine if they're a little tart, and I'll eat the heck out of some kiwi. And T, you need to tell me what kind of squash, because when I meet you this month, I can bring you some squash. Like, seriously. Okay, so for me, I want to actually try like authentic Mexican food, authentic Jamaican food, authentic Hawaiian dishes, right? Not like the American versions with the American food, trying to make the authentic out of cuisine, or like Italian cuisine, like an actual real Italiano pizza. You know, like that's, yeah. I think that's where I'm at with that. I think I just am more about trying, especially because Italian, you can eat pizza over there, and y'all wouldn't. So if y'all are tuning in, what we're doing right now is I read a quote and then I ask you a question. And today's is: you may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. So what food would you like to try that you have never eaten? So we were just kind of running through that today. And crab rangoon is not Chinese food. All right, guys. So Medusa, are you ready? Again, guys, before I let Medusa in the box, I would like to make sure that I let you guys know during a featured show, I'm not allowed to interact one-on-one. My time and my attention is 100% for my guests. So if you guys are interested in chit-chatting, please hit that star. You can come back when I don't have my featured show running. But thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favorites. And again, more importantly, thank you for your time. Please be kind. We tolerate zero baloney over here. This is a featured show, and my guests make themselves vulnerable to help people out. So it is absolutely a zero bully zone. So you can try, but you will immediately be removed. And when I tell you the few people who are red right now can't wait for someone to say something stupid so that they can kick you, I mean it, because I don't let them kick over here very often. Please be kind. Rewind. All right, Medusa, are you ready? My daily kick in. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hello. Top badge Medusa in the house, you guys. If you
Are you?
I'm doing okay. Oh, you make me want to. Should I wear my hat?
No, I'm jealous of the jacket, the shirt that you got on. I wanted to put on that, but I was like, you know what? Let me wear the jacket. But I love that shirt.
I had my hat on last night. I
Uh,
like them. I like these. I like the gear. I like the
Something
colors.
about that color, it just makes it pop, you know?
It's my favorite color. Peach is my favorite color.
Yes.
Peach
Yes.
and teal. So I'm like obsessed with both the teal blue color they had before, because that's what my VIP stuff is. It's got that teal color. But yeah, no, I love my peach gear. I got my
Yeah.
water bottle. It comes to work
Yeah.
with me every day.
Oh, speaking of water bottle, I have it right here.
My hat's right there and my water bottle's right over there.
Boom. Boom.
Oh man, thank you for the favorite. All right, so Medusa, please let everybody know what lesson we will be discussing today.
I learned, and the lesson learned was to have patience. Mm.
Ooh, now patience with what?
With just life in general, that can apply to gifting, that can apply to being fired from your job like I was, that can apply to school, that can apply to relationships, that can apply to, just any amount of things.
No. Now, I know a little bit about your schooling, but I definitely see with what you're doing how that has taught you patience. So, if you could maybe fill them in a little bit in on what you've learned about patience from your schooling, because y'all he be doing it.
I be out there dribbling, shooting, and like dunking on people with that school and stuff. But
Yeah.
I learned that, sometimes it's not good to rush. A lot of people get up in age in life and they say, well, I don't feel like going back to school. I'm old. Things don't work the same. It's a completely different, computerized system. And it's like, if you just have patience with yourself, you take one class a month. Some people take 4 classes. Some people take 6 classes a month. But if you just take one class a month, you can actually see how much you can actually benefit. And this goes back to your saying, because if you don't try, you will never find out.
Yep.
But you're doomed for not trying at it again. So it is what it is. But patience teaches you to just enjoy the process.
Yes.
Don't rush the process, but enjoy it.
Yes. So what other areas have you learned patience? What other things? What's something else that sticks out as your lesson in patience?
One crazy thing is when I got fired from my job, right? I was working retail and they fired me, just because of some he say, she say, some person didn't like me, whatever, whoop de whoop. So I was upset the whole day, the whole entire day. I was upset. I was angry. I was crying. I was like, where's my next paycheck is going to come? I immediately started calling the company to try to get my job back. I didn't have the patience to just say, let things play out, because when you're fired, the first thing you think is like, where's my next paycheck is going to come from?
Yeah.
So my job was to like call the manager, call the supervisor, let them know it wasn't my fault. Like I was head over heels. I didn't have no patience just to sit there and wait and say, let things just play out. You never know, right? So go to the grocery store one day and I meet a lady who's into sales. And she's like, you know what? I think she just walked up to me and said, you know what? I think that you would make a good person on my team. And out of nowhere, she just offered me a position for a job. So in that lesson, I learned that whole day, like once I got fired, because I got fired like 10 o'clock in the morning, that whole entire day, I was like stressed. I was worried. I was like, I had so much anxiety because I did not know where my next paycheck was going to come. And it wasn't until I just let everything go, ate me some ice cream, cut on some cartoons. The next day came, went to the grocery store and found my job without me even having to go and look for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like luck, not patience, because that happened pretty quickly. But but
Definitely.
again, it's you can't allow things that you can't immediately change to take control, right? Like you've got to just breathe through it, because we, believe it or not, and I know some of y'all that are here frequently have heard me say this, but we have all survived 100% of our crappiest days. Every single one of us.
Exactly.
So in the moment, we feel like, oh, it's never ending. It's my life is over. Ugh. But like, we woke up the next day, and then we woke up the day after, and then eventually things became okay again. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I agree.
And that same thing applies to me. Like right now, I'm single. I want to be with someone so bad. I want to have a family. I want to have someone to be booed up with on Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving. But if I don't have patience to just let it find me, I'll be talking to any and everybody. Like the first DM, I just be responding, like, let's go hang out, you know? But I learned to have patience. Let that person find me or just wait for the right time to happen. Like I want to be in a relationship, but am I going to rush to be with just anybody? No. So that teaches me to just have patience, let it find me, let it happen organically versus me just trying to force a situation.
Right. Yeah, and then that's something that I've had to learn, and I've been single for a very long time. But in my younger years, I had to stop, because I call myself like a serial dater, like like for those of y'all that got someone on backup, like you're with someone, but you met someone, but you're not sure. So like, you kind of whatever, but you don't do anything too wrong, but you still communicate. And then you've got that one on the backup communicator, because in case this one screws up, because you already know you have poor choice in men or women, depending. Yep. Hello. That was me. And then like it was that one realization of, even though I didn't do anything wrong, if I'm already planning the next, then I'm clearly not in the right situation. You know what I mean? So so I've been single since, until I find somebody who likes me back, and now, you know, the way that I like them, where it's just I can do nothing but think about that person, and everyone that I meet I compare to that person, you know. But like I got to get that back, right? Like we all meet that person that whatever, but you got to make sure you're getting that same stuff back. It can't be a one-sided feeling type thing. You can't let that. So yeah, patience. And patience in that, guys, y'all become friends first. You don't have to just rush, jump, and be in the bedroom.
Exactly.
Take your time. Get to know each other, because I'm going to be honest with
Exactly.
you. It takes 6 months to a year to learn somebody at an 80%. And that is still not all of them, because you don't learn everything till y'all been together for a long time.
Exactly. It takes 9 months to have a baby for a reason. You know, you can't just pop it in the microwave and expect a baby to be born the next day. You know, it takes patience. It takes just holding out and waiting. And the same thing I can say when it comes to the app and when it comes to gifting, you have to have that patience just to sometimes free yourself, get to know people. You don't want to get to know someone just based on how many diamonds they sent you or what gift they sent you, because you really don't develop a relationship, you know. So just get to know people for who they are. Come and sit in their streams, and never let somebody force you to press a button that you don't want to press. Get to know that person before you start pressing buttons, you know.
That's why I tell these guys all the time, you know, really spend time getting to know people. It's okay to do what you want. Nobody should be telling you what to do with your diamonds and your money,
Exactly.
ever. But like, make sure that, like, for me, you know, I don't, my thing, and I learned my lesson in that was that I went into a stream, and somebody, they were laughing, we were having a good time, things were funny, so I was gifting. And then I went back to the stream the next time, and I was kind of like, well, maybe they're just having a bad day today. And then I went back a third time and was ashamed to be on the board. Like, I didn't even, the things that this person was saying to somebody in a verse, like they were being extremely rude and belittling and degrading. And now I'm on this person, not a lot, but now people like, oh, she supports this person.
Right.
How? Ew. You know what I mean? So for me, I take my time, just because I don't want to show any type of support to somebody who's bullying people on this app.
Right.
There's no reason for it. There's
Right.
difference between banter, and if it's your friend, and like if Medusa and I were versing and we were having banter, that's different than somebody I don't know coming at me talking a bunch of mean stuff. You know what I mean? Like, when you're friends with somebody, you know what you can tease them with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so the banter's fun, but these people, some of them, they just say things that I couldn't ever imagine saying to other people. You know, so that was where I learned to be more careful and to be more patient in getting to know people on this stream, because it takes a while to see everybody's true colors. Um, Very quickly, I'm going to do a show shout out. You guys, welcome. This is Lessons Learned. I'm Silly Lily, and we have Top Badge Medusa in the box, and we're talking about patience and different varieties of our aspects or whatever of our life, from dating to jobs and job seeking, and into just getting to know people on the app, and in the gifting process, you know. Medusa, what else did you want to add to that within the patience? What else do you think these folks need to hear?
Uh, let me see. Cause I be having some words for people sometimes. When you go out in these guest boxes and you get to know people, you know, sometimes you just want to teach a little something, you know. But I can truly say that, you know, protect your own mental, because I tend to notice a lot of times our 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 emotions are triggered by other people, and I don't believe we should let our emotions get triggered by other people. You know, if you see something you don't hear, you see something you don't like, whether it's in a family, whether it's in a relationship, or whether it's in a friendship, if someone is treating you the way that you don't deserve to be treated, walk away from that situation. I believe everyone, if not someone, have been a witness of someone who has been verbally abused on the app, emotionally abused on the app, where someone's treating you a certain way because you haven't acted a certain way, or you haven't given them what they wanted in a particular settings. So I believe to just protect your own emotions. At the end of the day, you deserve what you deserve. You deserve to be treated like a human being. You deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve to be
Yep.
treated with so much. Never belittle yourself for someone or lower your standards to meet the needs of someone else or to even please someone else. You know, be who
Yeah.
you are, but protect yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's two sayings I always say is I will not dim my bright or dim my light because I'm gonna shine bright. It's not my fault that your ass is dim. You leave me shine. Like I
And
ain't doing it, right?
leave
And
me
then
alone. Leave
my
don't I don't want
papa,
to be a part of it. Stay
my
on your
papa
own self.
heard me say something once about a person's certain job, and he pulled me aside and he gave me in a whole bunch of words and then summed it up. He goes, I don't give a crap if they are the CEO or the janitor of a building. He says they both deserve the same amount of respect when they walk in to do their jobs from everybody in that building,
Right.
because it takes everyone in that building to make it run or they wouldn't be there,
Right. Right.
you know? So, and
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
Everybody it's a circle in life. Everybody has to hold hands or stick their hands out in order to, complete the circle. So regardless of what position or who's in what position or how much someone makes, hold your hands out and be a part of the circle. Control yourself. Don't let others control you or dictate how you're going to respond to certain situations. Always be yourself.
Yeah.
That's about like, yeah, you gotta take a break sometimes. Exactly, Cedar.
Your reactions to situations tell us a lot about you, just like when we
Mm,
see someone's reaction to
mm,
certain situations, you know,
mm.
like I learned yesterday that in the heat of a moment when I am upset, I don't need to be on here, not because I say or do anything I don't mean, but sometimes you get a little deep into that conversation and it's just not the right place, you know.
Mm. Exactly. Heck yeah. Breaks are healthy. It's definitely good to take a break. Definitely good to take a break and just allow yourself that, emotional bondage, just be free. Get to know yourself. That's the most important thing. Get to know yourself. Because a lot of times we spend getting to know other people, getting to know other artists, people we don't even know in real life, or sometimes streamers. Get to know yourself. What would you do if someone was around a person like you? How would you want that person to, or what would even that person like about you? We don't even have ourselves figured out all the way. We're still learning about ourselves every single day we're born. We're learning things that we don't like, things that we're not attracted to, things that we even are allergic to. So you kind of
Yeah.
need to just learn about yourself, spend more time, protecting yourself, and have patience. You know.
Yeah. I totally get it. I think a lot of people needed to hear that. I don't know if you've seen through the comments. One girl mentioned how she's 35 and wanting to get back into school, and so she thanked you for that. I don't know if you've seen that, but like
Oh,
I said, you guys, everybody's here for a reason, and if it reaches one person, then I've done my job for the day, right? And Medusa's
period.
done his. But Medusa, before I give you before I kick you out, no, so I know you're an admin for some shows. So and I know you've got some things that you host or things you're a part of. So fill these guys in a little bit about your stream life real quick.
So I'm going on a featured show tour, and I want people to, if you have featured shows, just invite me on them. Because I like to learn about new streamers. I like to learn about old streamers, people who've been on the app, got their account deleted, blah blah blah. And I also like to talk people. Communication is one of my love languages. So I love to just openly express myself, use words to kind of paint pictures for certain people and stuff
Right.
like that. So if anyone has a feature show, you want me to be on a feature show, have any events coming up, and even if it's not featured, if you just want someone on your show because you have to have an open dialogue, you know where to find me. My name is right here. You can search my name. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is in my bio. And I stream pretty much every other day. When I'm not writing 4,000 word papers, I'm streaming. Other than that, I'm sleeping or watching Netflix. But 9 times out of 10, I'm on the app in someone's stream or on my own stream.
Okay. You guys heard it. So you guys look at him on the IG. You can see what events he's got going on. And is there anything else you want to let these guys?
Go ahead and kick me out. Go ahead.
No, you got to remove yourself.
That
I
even
can't
makes me
kick.
feel.
I don't like to kick. You got to
I
kick
feel
yourself.
even better. You know, just close the door. I'm gonna open it. See you later.
Mwah, you guys, make sure your favorite Medusa, please. If you guys miss Medusa, we just got done sharing. He just got done sharing with us different different ways patience has had to come into play for him, from his business to schooling to dating and to even on the app. So I thank you very much, Medusa. I know that it hit me in a couple ways, and I like I said, I seen the comments thanking you. So yeah, you guys make sure Medusa faved. He's right there. But yeah. Next up, we have Emoji J. But first, guys, please tell me, what have you done for yourself today? What have you done for yourself today? I'm doing everything with one hand, guys. And if I look a little off today, it's because I'm hurting. I had to message them in the inbox. I'm like, guys, if I'm making weird faces, it's not at you. I am in pain. Went to work like most people should. Well, I mean, that's what did you do for yourself? You know, like, I mean, I guess you're going to make a living, right? So guys, this is a featured show. During a featured show, I cannot play music and I cannot let you in the box at all during my featured shows. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't let anybody in the box unless you guys have spent some time in my stream, because any inappropriate things you do, I can get in trouble for it. So unfortunately, there's been a few bad eggs that have sowed some itsy bitsy teeny weeny microscopic little thingies that none of us wanted to see that day, and yet we did. So we're just really cautious on who we let in our box over here. Yeah, itsy bitsy teeny, what is itsy bitsy yellow polka dot bikini that we saw for the first time today or something like that, but I just add to it. But yeah, it's a play off the polka dot bikini. Yeah, it is. Okay, tip number 1, guys, drink lots of water. You should be drinking a decent amount of water a day. Okay. Take your body weight, Google up how much you're supposed to drink, and you'll be okay. But I'm going to guess most of us should be drinking like near a gallon of water a day, or half a gallon of water a day, at least. But don't drink too much, because you can drown yourself internally, believe it or not. That is a fact. You can over drink water. Happy belated birthday, Patio. Yeah, you can drown yourself by drinking too much water. I have to drink water. I feel like crap. Okay, question number 2. Ooh, I'm gonna make you guys think on this one. What scares you, and how does it hold you back? What scares you, and how does it hold you back? Mine straight up is fear of failure. I'm afraid I'm gonna fail at it. So I'm afraid to try. But if I don't try, I've already automatically failed, right? Mm. You know, I'm afraid I'm going to die alone too. I'd say that that's a fear I have. I feel like nobody's going to be able to tolerate me. Again, guys, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favorites. During my featured show, I cannot thank you guys all individually. So do know that I appreciate all of the gifts, all the faves, and just you guys being here, because you can literally be doing anything you want, but you're here with me. So thank you. So the unknown scares me, but like, that's my entire life, you know? Like, but I guess that's part of fear, because I don't know if I'm going to succeed. So yeah, I guess that kind of falls right into the same category, right? Like, you fear the unknown. I fear the outcome. So I would say that, yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that. You know, you fear of losing loved ones. You know, that's a hard one too. You know, but there's two things that we are promised in this life. Two things. One is constant change, and two is none of us are going to make this out of this alive. We all have a death date, and we all deal with constant change. And those are the only two things that I can promise you. But the good thing with that is change can go good or bad, right? So when it's bad, just know it's changing to good. But remember, when it's good, don't get all up on your high horse, because it'll shoot you right back down faster than you're ready. So y'all learn to be humble. Pushing yourself out of the this app has made me get out of my comfort zone and push me to be somebody I didn't know I could be. I had no idea that I could be this forward and this blunt with people and you would still like me. I had no idea that I could just be myself. Y'all like me for me, my sweet, sassy, and a whole lot of smart. I'm not allowed to say that word, but it rhymes with sassy and classy, but you just take off the first letter or the first two, right? But anyway, so I'm a whole lot of that, okay? And y'all still come back. I don't have to pretend to like the things that you guys like for you to be my friend. I don't have to pretend to I don't have to do things that I don't want to do to make you happy. You know, I do what the hell I want to do. And you guys are either like, she's not my cup of tea. That old lady's crazy. Or you're like, that lady's funny as hell. Let's hang out. But then you're also like, ooh, don't make her mad, because she will put you in your place. Like, she ain't afraid. I'm not afraid. My whole life, I grew up afraid to stand up for myself and defend myself. And then I learned that I could do it, and I could do it very, very funnily most of the time, like where I'm funny. I can be. Yeah. It's just now it rolls out like, just don't test the waters. Don't troll here. You will lose. All right. So that was question number 2. Tip number 2. Something that I just did the other day in nature. Okay. And I know it sounds really, really silly. And most of you are going to go, Lily, you done lost your damn mind, right? But I want you to do what's called grounding yourself. If you're having a hard time sleeping, if you can't focus, I need you to do one thing. I need you to go outside in your bare feet and walk through the grass. Watch out for dog dew. Put your bare feet on the ground outside and ground your damn self. Okay? I swear to God, y'all just try, because I'm telling you what happens in my experience. Because as I've said 1,000,000,001 times, none of us are professionals. These are simply things that I have done, tried, that I thought might help you. If you need professional help, I highly recommend you call the 1-800 number that is for your local area. You reach out to your doctor. Okay? What I know is what I've been through, and what I share with you are simply things that I've been through. I've seen a therapist. I've gone to it. A lot of the things I talk with you guys about are things she shared with me. But no, I am not a professional. I cannot help you through your stuff. I can simply give you advice and little tips and tricks that I was taught and that I use that helped me get through some of my toughest days. And something is silly. I went to the park. I went to the water, to the lake, and I took my socks and shoes off, and I walked through the sand, through the water. I put my feet in the water. Y'all, what, 10 minutes? I was out there for what, 10 minutes? Right? I think 10 minutes. And if you know me, I'm a high-strung person. My anxiety gets me a lot. So I have to find ways to bring my anxiety down, right? Jay, we got about 2 minutes, okay? So when I get into these situations where I find my heartbeat going, right? And then I start to get upset for no reason. For me, it's something as simple as going outside barefoot, grabbing my notebook and writing down 3 positive things. Okay? Not because I don't know that these positive things are going on, but because if I write them, I have to see them. And if I have to see them, my brain has to acknowledge it. Okay? My brain has to go, yeah, That is good. Even though that this bad thing's happening, these are the good things right here in front of you. I cannot deny, my brain cannot deny what I just physically wrote on that paper because it just made me happier. You know what I mean? So it's training. We have to, a lot of us need to retrain our brain from the negative to realizing that when you are a negative person and you think negatively and you speak negatively about yourself and others, you are simply spreading negativity to yourself and to others. But if you start thinking positive and you train your brain to realize the good instead of the bad, right? Because just like you guys know, you can do 100 things and one of them be bad. And that's what everyone's going to talk about, that one bad thing. So people are trained in a way to just focus on the negative. But if you train yourself to think positively, especially about yourself, then you have the ability to train the brain to think positive about yourself, about other people. And the more positive you think, the more positive things happen. And the more positive things that happen, the more positivity that's spread. You know, my way of dealing with things and my way of releasing is different, because I don't go to church and I don't necessarily have one individual that I pray to. I just pray to a higher power, and I believe 100% that being out in nature, I would almost say, if you guys wanted to ask me who I believe in Mother Nature and I believe in karma, and they are two very powerful forces, because I've seen proof of both with my own eyes. You know what I mean? My own eyes. So I believe that being positive and spreading positivity is a huge part of things. But if you're a negative person and you think negatively of yourself, and you think and speak negatively to other people, you can't think that anything but that's what you're spreading. And if that's what you're spreading, that's what you're going to get. All right, Jay, here we go.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Nervous. I don't know why, but I'm nervous.
Oh, Jay, don't be nervous. You're silly.
I'm always nervous when I get in boxes for shows. Come on.
All right. So for those of you guys that do not know, this is Emoji Jay. And without Emoji Jay, this show would not have been as amazingly possible, because he's brought me some of the most amazing guests. And so for, I don't know what, over a year and a half now, I've been like, so when are you going to do my show? When are you going to do my show? When are you going to do my show? And now he's on my show. I stopped asking after a while, and then he was randomly just like, I'm going to do your show. And I was like,
because I'm on a show tour. Come on.
Everybody doing show tours. Let's go. Hello. Yeah, I will be on lots of shows, but there's a lot of shows I've done a couple times already. So it'd be nice if I could get to other ones. So keep me in mind. But the one you asked me to do, I've already done twice.
No, I feel you. That's fine.
So
the lesson I'm basically going to talk about is be patient. It's kind of on the lines of what Medusa was talking about. Be patient on the partner that you pick. I was married twice. The first time was around 19, and the second time was around 29, 30. First time, well, basically, just out of high school, pretty young, pretty dumb, I guess you want to call it. Thought I could deal with adultness. Is that a word? It is now.
Adulting.
Adultness. And I rushed into it. But at the same time, it made me a stronger person on who I am today.
Right.
And then my second marriage, I up from San Diego and moved to Wisconsin, into a town of 300 people.
Oh, wow. That's
yeah, where everybody knew each other and you couldn't hide anything, or you were the odd one out of the whole town, and everybody looked at you weird. Right. But that was a culture shock for me. Especially with snow, because San Diego, there's no snow. And how to learn how to drive in the snow, too. That was interesting.
Not easy.
No, it's not. But that's basically what I wanted to, let everybody know, because I'm sure a lot of people need to hear to be patient with the person that you talk, that you pick. Otherwise, it can lead to a disaster down the line.
So, if you could tell the young people, that are trying to rush things, one thing, like, what would you tell them as far as like what you've learned, other like in relation to the patients, like, how long do you think it takes for somebody to really get to know their other person, kind of, I guess, maybe,
I mean, even if you wait a year, you still really don't know that person. You're still learning and you're still developing each other. I would say a couple of years before you really make a move. And I know people are gonna, say no, don't do that, but might want to try living with a person too, just because, if you're not compatible when you guys are married and you just jumped into a marriage and you don't know how one is, or if you're going to quarrel with each other, probably a good idea to live with a person for a little bit, or at least go there for like, a few months at a time, just to see if you guys are compatible with each other. Otherwise, it could be literal disaster and you're not going to be happy and you're going to want out of it as soon as you get in it.
Yeah, I agree. Dating is scary, but it does require a whole lot of patience, and what do you think is the, like, can I ask you kind of date, like in relation, like kind of like a little spin, what do you think the hardest part about dating is these days?
I don't know, because, well, that's not true. I have been on dates, but at a later age. But I've never really been on a date, right, per se. It's always been jump into a relationship. Or even, it's harder on here, especially on here or whatever app you're on, because you have so many avenues attacking you while you're with a person, and people try to come at you at all directions, and there's different ways somebody can screw up a relationship on here. But repeat the question. I'm gonna repeat the question.
The scariest part about dating, like the like, what do you think is like the hardest part about it? Like for me, it's that we have, like, compared to when my grandparents grew up, or even our parents, right? Or even when I was in my teens and early 20s, we have so much access to people everywhere. Whereas before, you had to know them in person, right? You had to take the time to get to know them before you were in love, because you seen them in real life. You got to see all the sides of them. It wasn't just the sides they wanted you to see and the rest was hidden behind the camera.
Right. Well,
our options are too much. People are always looking for what's greener. The grass is greener on the other side, or however that goes.
My first ex-wife, so believe it or not, before there was an internet, and there was bulletin boards, and it was basically like the internet, where you can log in, message people, chat with people, basically kind of similar to this without video and audio. Right. That's how I met my first wife, was on there. Okay. The scariest part about dating, I would say, would probably is knowing if you know the person or not. Because, as you said, people can be anybody they want to be, even over the phone. Back in the old times, it could be whoever they want to be.
Like, I think the hardest part for me to understand and to grasp, because I'm a pretty open book, okay? And I'll be honest, I've met people who are nothing like who they are on here. Nothing like who they are on here. And I spend hours and hours and hours in their stream and on the phone with them. But then when you meet them in real life,
they're not the same, because you could be whoever you want to be online. That's why. That's why, I guess that's the reason why I'm so nervous, right? When I get into people's boxes, because you guys see who I am. I'm not hiding anything. This is me. Versus someone who, yeah, exactly. Versus someone who, just may get in the box, put on a face because they had a bad day that day, or something happened to them. You know what I mean? It's kind of scary. And then if you think you know a person, and then later down the line, something happens where you're just like, oh, something clicks where you're just like, oh, crap. I really thought I knew you. I've known you for years, but you're not the person that I thought you were. And that's happened to me before on here, too, as well.
Yeah. I've had childhood friends change who they are as an adult, and some of them are substance-causing changes, if you know what I mean, so...
Right.
People could change and whatnot, but just, you really, guys, take the time to get to know the people that are around you. And if they are not giving you positive vibes and pushing you to be a better person, and I don't mean like they have to be a perfect individual and meet every criteria, but if somebody's really pushing you to be a better person, that's a good friend. Like they shouldn't be ripping you apart, but if they're really pushing you, those are the true friends. Your friends that aren't afraid to tell you how it is. Those are the people you need to keep around. And they're the ones that are going to keep you in line. Nope, she's not right, buddy. Take your time. Get to know her or whatever,
And another thing along the lines of what Medusa was saying is gifting can change a person as well. I've found that out on this app the hard way. Being number one on boards, quite a few people's boards. Yeah. I've slowed down on that, but yeah, gifting can definitely change the attitude of a person. Whether you're gifting them and you're spending money on them, or whether you're not spending money on them, if you stop, they can also change. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's really hard to even sometimes make friendships on here as well.
And that's why I tell the thing I tell most people is, listen, like, if you are trying to actually like somebody and they're saying that they like you back, null and void anything but conversation for a while. And then you'll know. Just converse. Right. Visit and converse. And that is it. And give it time.
See how people act. See how people react to the person that you're interested in or whatever. See how they change with somebody else in the box. Just observe. Even if you have to go to the point where you're making a lurk account and you're going into your live, I know that seems kind of fishy, but you know what? Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to go down that route. And I know Lily's sitting there going, no, don't do that. But yeah, you kind of have to, because with today's society, especially on here, and especially if you're gifting somebody, and somebody else comes along and they sit there and say, oh, I like you, because you're sitting there throwing them dragons, and then you come in their lurk account and then they're talking, crap about you. You might want to see how they really are and how their true colors are.
Yeah, that happens too. I don't know. It's tricky. I'm just still thankful there's more good than bad on the app,
That's true.
You got to find the right people. Like, just because they're not our type of people doesn't mean they're not good people, right? Like, there's certain people we're just not the same, right? And you attract and you go to the streams where you find things that you have in common with people, right? But it doesn't mean that I can't be friends with other people. It doesn't mean we can't have great conversations. But
people, and because I know everybody, it's kind of difficult sometimes, because there's people from one party that will not like a person from another party that I deal with, and I've even come across that with my auction, which is why there's 3 groups in my auction. But yeah, people are sometimes funny on this app, and I don't know.
That's just too much. If they can't be in the same chat, if any of y'all are listening, that is ridiculous. We are adults. Stop it.
Exactly.
God's sake, stop it.
But I took care of the
That flows like
situation,
great.
but yeah, that's the reason why I have 3 admins, and that's the reason why there's 3 tribe groups. Well, that you can only have 32 people in the chat group on Instagram, but yeah,
That blows my
Pe-
mind.
people are sometimes childish on here. Sometimes I use that loosely.
Okay, well, I guess I just don't deal with it. I guess I'm probably just the person they don't come back to see because I won't tolerate it. I don't know. I won't. I just don't. I can't. We're adults. Trust you me. There's plenty of people on this app that are not my cup of tea. But nobody else needs to know that. Nobody else has to be brought down for that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come and go, I don't like this person. I'm not. Y'all, come on. We adults. Stop it.
We're supposed to be.
Lesson learned. This is an adult app. Act like it. No wonder they give us baby rules.
They got to keep everybody in line. Come on.
No wonder they treat us like children. Too many of y'all be acting like children. Oh, Lanta. Lesson learned. No, guys, seriously, though, patience has really pretty much been the topic across both of my guests today, especially when it comes time to dating in your relationships. We're all kind of feeling like people are rushing too much, too soon, just to quench that instant desire, which is neglecting the long-term effect, which is what I think most of us really do want, whether we realize it or not. You know, I'd sit here and tell you I don't date, I don't want this, and I don't want that, but ultimately one of my fears is dying alone. So what does that effing tell you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, geez.
But I think that's everybody's fear, right? Nobody wants to die alone. Everybody wants to be with somebody. Everybody doesn't. Being alone sucks. Like I felt alone before I moved here to Zen Kitties. I felt alone being at my mom's. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Okay, but you want to know what's worse than being alone like you and I are per se right now? Is being with somebody and still feeling alone.
Exactly. That's why I said be patient of who you choose and be patient of who you associate with yourself, especially on this app, because you can always make the mistakes and be with the wrong people or associate yourself with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's way easier than you guys think because, as James mentioned before, me, for sure, are 100% blindsided to the red flags when I'm in love. Like, listen, Lily. You know, I see.
She's heard me say it. I don't know how many times that I love this person and I love that person. Come on.
And what do I tell you? It's too soon.
Exactly.
You know, like I will say I love your face, but if I very, very rarely will say I love. Like I have to actually feel it. If I'm telling you I love you, not I love your face or I love ya, I'll do the love ya, because some people get upset, but it's I have to mean that stuff to say it. Almost said a bad word. I can't just spit I love you to anybody. You know what I mean? Those are powerful words. Do I love people? Yes. You know, but I love ya, love your face. And it is a certain type of love.
There's a difference, yeah. There's a difference in being in love and loving a person.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that too. That's a different thing because there's friendship loves, there's relationship loves, yeah, there's family love, there's different loves for everybody, but yeah. That's crazy. What else have you learned? Well, actually, crap, it's 10:57. Jay, tell us a little bit about you really quick, your stream life, what events you have coming up.
I'm always live. I've been going live as myself a lot more often than people's noticed. I have an auction September 16th from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Before 7 a.m., there is a 1 hour performance block, and then before that, there's a DJ block. So even if you're not going to be in the auction or know anybody in the auction or supporting anybody in the auction, please come through and listen to the music because these performers have been handpicked and they are amazing people, and they need to be heard.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you, Jay. Are you in anywhere? You're in a farmer's auction in October, but I don't even remember the date of my own auction.
That too, I don't remember the date of that either. And I'm in Brody's MSL auction, but I don't know what time that is going to be at because I'm still working on flyers.
7 to 12. It looks like it's the 16th, so I see that.
No. Well, there's Brody. MSL Brody is having an MSL auction in October, and I'm in that one as well. But I don't know what day or what timeline's that yet.
Gotcha. Right.
I'm gonna stay in the box so I can. I'm gonna stay in the box so I can do the outro.
All right, we'll do. I'm gonna let you do the outro, and then I'll do the Q&Q. Where's you? No, today you had multiple. I can't see the heart. There we go. All right, guys, before you leave, I'm going to stay on for about a half hour, just so you guys know after the show. But next week's Q&Q is, it amazes me that most people spend more time planning next summer's vacation than they do planning the rest of their lives. Forget about planning your life. Where are you going on your next vacation? Do not answer this week. We will get back to this next week, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Guys, if you are